championship where only one team can move on. It's the Vikings going up against the Lions. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL sends us to the state of Michigan as we are inside Ford Field in downtown Detroit. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And he's not going anywhere to start the night. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down.
Now let's go. Blue Lightning.
From the shotgun, right away, he lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit.
Leopard, here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Leopard.
They'll need to get the play off quickly.
Here we go. Watch you now, Barney.
And they just did not get the snap away in time. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the right side to Eric Ebron. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make this a second down. Second down now after the pass completion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's third down now.
And the good thing about the top-notch safeties, they can play from deep coverage or they can play close to the line of scrimmage, and the end result is often the same, a big-time play for their defensive team. And that's exactly what we just saw.
Out of the gun now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
And this one is right down Broadway. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. On the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not a particularly good return here as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more than one guy to get that big man down.
Yeah, and it did right there. Multiple broken tackles, but they eventually get him down.
Here we go now.
Back to throw now on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And now a peek at the starters on the defensive side. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43. The offense staring at a 3rd and 12 here.
Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now here's a carry heading left. And he's got some space here. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, 5th defensive back on the field. And they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. And I still remember being in school and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield and hit you little people.
Good run there. They'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Going for it all. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's fourth down.
In this situation, it's really tough to figure out how to defend because they have plenty of room to still take deep shots at the end zone as they just did there. Yet at the same time, you've got to be ready for the short throw. In this case, when you see the cue that they're going for the end zone, retreat and make sure you have a way to play forward, back towards the receiver, and have a chance to bat the ball away as they did there.
So that scores now on their first two possessions, but it's 6-0. Probably not the kind of scores they were hoping for.
No, not at all, but I think that they've shown that they can have some success against this defense. So they'll go back to the sideline knowing the points are going to be there for the taking.
That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And Detroit getting set to go now. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
4 yards remaining now on second down. Here with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, as the Lions are in possession of the football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 4 to start things out. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And out now come the Vikings. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
3 yards to go here on 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism, because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Well, I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And tough starting field position here. Now they try the right side here. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
That's taken it around the 40. A field position changer there. 49 yards on the punt. Couple that with a loss on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Detroit! Now let's go! Green, 39!
They'll go ground game here with a tailback. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
They'll set up to throw. And he's got room. A very solid gain of 27. So the offense has it 1st and 10. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Vikings pick up the football. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Second down and 4.
Let's go. Green 39. Green 30. Over. No. Check. Patriot.
And the back goes into motion. They'll look to throw here. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 35 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
They're going to look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Let's go. Blue landed.
They'll look to throw again. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches care. Turnovers will bother them no matter what the scoreboard says.
That's the relief that you still have the lead, but coaches look at what if and what it should be. Turning the ball over when they get a chance to score more points and increase the lead, that's what's going to affect them.
And they're also thinking to future weeks, maybe when the game's closer, right?
No doubt about it. You want to clean up everything. Let's just be honest about it. They want everything to be perfect at all times. They don't want to give up anything that's going to hurt their team.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And now it's second down.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Back to throw again. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And his first carry, he loses the football. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad thing.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. 47 yards. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score game. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Let's make these babies cry all the way. Good. Check. Here we go now. Green 39.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Now back to throw. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, Every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still in attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll look to throw here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
And on 2nd and 10 now. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. Their dangerous wide receiver, 29 yards. And the Lions add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. I'm ready now for 2nd and 9. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They're going to look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. They get 20 yards there on 3rd and 19, and an unlikely first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, that's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
Let's go. Green. Watch him now, Barney.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Shotgun, he'll look to throw, and he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. So make it back-to-back sacks, and the second one cost him a couple of points.
And the easy thing is to put this all on the offensive line, but maybe they need to start changing their game planning and their calls. Quicker passes, running plays, especially when you're this deep in your own territory.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
The slot man in motion right. Out of the gun now on third down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't. Let them get there, and they rallied and made the tackle.
Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Halfback sent in motion. They'll try and throw for it here. Wide open receiver complete. It's a pickup of 19 yards on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play.
All right, here we go.
Looking to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
All week long as a defense, you game plan to stop this guy as a runner. And then when they start sneaking him out of the backfield and throwing it to him, that totally disrupts what you plan to do in the game.
Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Shift together here from the D-line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here we go now. Green 39.
They'll set up to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down in bounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete. So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact at all before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out here in the eye. They'll go with a keeper. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Hey, give him credit. That's a good, solid game there in the sneak because...
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Vikings are within a 2-point conversion of tying this game. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Hey, check back.
They'll try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion no good.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A 3rd quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe 1st or 2nd, you don't. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points, but I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And that pick just sets them up beautifully right down near the goal line.
I remember being in a defensive meeting. Back when I was in college, and our defensive coordinator says, we're going to call this Be Who You Are defense. D linemen, you play the run. Linebackers, be aware of anything. And secondary, you play the pass. That way, you're all set, ready for whatever they put out there.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
And the D-line pinching together must be expecting to run. They'll drop to throw. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So backed up to the 6 now. 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. They went backwards 5 yards there on 3rd down to bring up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
So the defense gets the pick. The offense, Charles, they go backwards, but they do get 3 points.
Very happy to get to 3, but you know who's happier? The defensive team on the other side. They shut them down after the turnover.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he will find his man on the outside. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a third down. So it's third and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Give it to him right up the gut. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Hey. 4 down. All right, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. And ready for 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he connects with Ebron. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Second down now after the pass completion.
Now let's go.
Back to throw again. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's down the numbers. There he goes. And they will finally get to him, but a great return has set him up 1st and goal at the 5. And now out comes Minnesota. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with his second touchdown of the night. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Another pistol look here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now back to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he comes back with 1 complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll find his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. So out comes the field goal team once more. Time for a break. Back with more in the NFC Championship game after this. So they'll turn to the kicker again. He's been a busy man thus far. And his kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give him some breathing room and lets him build up a little cushion.
And Detroit getting set to go now. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Trying to shake, and this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And now the offense operates in the red zone. And they'll run it here. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it, and they ran it really well and picked up a 1st down. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
They said beginning of the year, they set a lofty goal, Charles, of getting to the Super Bowl. They fell 1 step short of that.
Oh, and that's going to hurt for a long time.